made the point of talk about games. Dungeon Defenders was another one too. He showed me that, and I like tower defense games, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So yeah, it's a way for me to get into modern games more, because I'm such a, I'm so into like Atari and NES and like the old games. So that's my long sort of answer. Sorry if that was long-winded. I tend to go on and on. What are these guys called? These spiky dudes. They have names. Oh man, what are those fucking called? Somebody tell me what those are called, because I really want to know. Anybody know? I looked at, after I said that whole thing, I looked down at the chat, and the first thing I see is from O Nickel. He says, Mike, what is your favorite dimension? Some of the questions that you people ask. Oh, they're called spikes? That's funny. Yes, it's Back to the Future Day. We will have something Back to the Future coming later today on Cinemassacre, so check that out later when you get a chance. It's not out yet. I'm just saying, when you get a chance, like later today, it'll be coming out. Something Back to the Future related. But I think the next thing coming out is there's a Monster Madness video coming out very shortly, or it might already be out actually. I forget what today's Monster Madness video is. And I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut, because I might say the wrong video that might not be out yet, so gotta be careful not to give it away. Mike, I want you to say Philip. Oh, I want you to say fuck you, Philip. Well, there you go, I just said it, I guess. It's funny when people have said that before. I think I was doing a live stream of, might have been Prison Architect with Ryan, and there was somebody in the chat who just kept saying, I don't remember what their name was, like let's say their name was Joe or something, and they were like, hey, my name's Joe, tell me to go fuck myself, and they kept saying it like over and over and over for like an hour or something. So at one point finally Ryan's just like, fuck you, Joe. It was really, really, really funny. It was some people, the things they say. There you go. See you later, boom boom. Cinnamon in the ass occurred. That's what I just read in the chat. Ruthless86 says cinnamon in the ass occurred. Help me, please, somebody. Have you ever played Shadow of Colossus? Yes, I have. Mike, how do you pronounce your name? Mike Matei. Mike, marry me. Alright. I don't know. You guys are crazy. Whoa. Hammer Brothers. I can't wait to get the Hammer Brothers item so I can be the Hammer Brother Mario. It's very rare when that comes up in this game. It's only like a few areas that you can even get that. Shit. Whoa! Damn. Yeah, motherfucker. Think you're gonna eat me? It respawns so quickly, doesn't it? That fucking fish. Fuck that fish. Piece of shit. Oh. I hate that fish. don't I have anything like that decent I can use? Not really. Like, I need more mushrooms. Guys, I really gotta get some more shrooms because I don't have enough. I'm running very, very low on shrooms, and that's a big problem for me. So, because I need to, like, Mario needs to get big. So I need to get some shrooms. That'll be misconstrued statement. Whoa. Let me get through this fucking area. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ooh, that was close. Get me out of this level. I always hated that level. I'm trying to do this at full speed because if you do full speed, usually you can get this 5 up. Ever broken a controller in anger? Not an NES controller, because these things are fucking durable. You can smash an NES controller into the ground and that's no problem. But you gotta be careful doing that with controllers on other systems. Like, you know, Super Nintendo controller, I would not do that with. And pretty much any other system, I would say, you gotta be more careful with the controllers. But these things, oh my god. I don't even know how you would break one of these without using some serious power tools, because these, when Nintendo made the NES, they were like, people are gonna get fucking pissed with these games. So they knew that this shit had to be durable, and it is. Do I have the hammer? Let me see if I have a hammer. I do have a hammer. Check this shit out. Boom. And we are gonna jump into the little canoe and grab ourselves some items. Because I need to get me some shrooms. Mario needs some shrooms. A Genesis controller? I feel like Genesis controllers could be broken much easier than an NES controller. I think they're pretty durable too, though. But I don't think quite as much as an NES controller. I'd be more worried about breaking a Genesis controller. I have a lot of different types of Genesis controllers too, by the way. I could do a whole video all about Genesis controllers. There's a really cool one that's like an arcade style joystick that I like to use a lot of times when playing like Atari games. Which that's something I haven't done yet for a live stream. I really would like to do like an Atari live stream, but I'd have to get it set up. But at some point I want to do that. Let me know, like send me a message on Twitter and stuff, and let me know if you guys would be interested to see an Atari live stream, because I'm not sure if people would be interested enough to see that, but that would definitely be fun. And I could do it too. All I'd have to do is plug my modded 7800 I should say, into my FrameMeister, so I could definitely do it. It'd be a little bit of a setup though. How close am I to beating this game? This is World 3, so there's 8 worlds, so you can do the math. What do I think about the Nintendo NX? Somebody just asked me. I think nothing about it right now because it's very early on, and I'm not going to form an opinion about it this early on. So ask me that like nearer to when the thing's actually going to launch, because I don't want to say shit about it when I don't really know anything about it, and also things will probably change with it before it gets released, I would imagine, so I don't want to really talk about it right now. But I hope that it is the most powerful system on the market for a long time, that's what I would like to see with it. Now, you guys know me as somebody who like loves Atari, like still to this day, and like old Nintendo games. So, and those are like my favorite systems. So you know that I think it's always gameplay over graphics. But Nintendo has been very behind with being like the best as far as graphics, and I think graphics are an important part of games. And why can't Nintendo have the best for once? You know, it's always like Xbox and PS4 and PC and stuff that have the best graphics. So I would like to see the new Nintendo be an extremely powerful console and blow everything else out of the water. That's what I would like to see. But I have a feeling it's going to be probably just as powerful as the PS4 or something, or a little bit more powerful maybe, and then the new console will come out shortly after, and then, you know what I mean? They need to like, I want them to be like 3 generations ahead. That's what I want to see Nintendo do. Just really push the limits. And actually I gotta go into that pipe, don't I? Which I didn't do. I think that's the one that takes me to the end of the stage. So that's what I would like to see happen, but probably not going to happen. Because the thing is, like back when I was growing up, Nintendo was the shit. It was like, there was no argument. It was Nintendo. Nintendo was like the most popular thing in the world. I would like to see that happen again, you know, at least for a while. You know, not that I don't like the other systems. I love PlayStation and I love Xbox too, actually. But from a nostalgic sort of viewpoint, from growing up that way, it would be cool to see Nintendo be like the true leader of the industry, like by far again, or at least for a while. And I feel like the only way they're going to do that is to have by far the most powerful console, in combination obviously with having great games. So, you know, which I think they do. Like right now, I think they have great games. Like Wii U, there's a lot of great games on the Wii U. A ton of them. But it's not the most powerful system. That's the problem. You know? So, it's a shame. It is a shame. But I do love the Wii U. It is a great system regardless. Wendy O. Koopa, right? Is that not her name? But you know what? Nothing's ever gonna beat the NES, probably. I mean, give me a break. And the Super Nintendo, it's like, it's kind of impossible. Lord something says Nintendo just cares about gimmicks with their consoles these days. I agree with that to an extent. I mean, I would give them more credit than that statement, but I know what you're saying though. They have been very gimmicky. They have made a lot of great games though. Like I know, like, a lot of people will say, like, the Wii is, like, gimmicky because, you know, swinging the controller around and all that, and I totally agree. It is very gimmicky, but at the same time, the system had a lot of great games. Like, look at Donkey Kong Country Returns as an example. Like, that's an amazing game, and, you know, it's just, you can just use, like, the regular controller scheme, you know, just like an old NES game like I'm playing right now, and it's a great game on the system. So, just to, you know, to gloss it over and say, you know, it's all about gimmicks, that I don't think that's fair, you know, because there are legitimate great games on the system, and that, you know, that's just one example. There's a lot. By the way, so I love, I think everybody loves this level, and it was so amazing to see this back in the day when this came out, like this huge world with giant Koopas and giant clouds with giant smiley faces, and I didn't never understood why the plants weren't giant too. I guess because Mario wouldn't be able to jump over them, but they could have put in blocks or something and made it designed it so that you could jump over them. That always bothered me. The piranha plants should have been huge too. It bothered me, guys. When I was 10 years old playing this game back in like 1990, was it? Nintendo in 4K. Well, we'll see. What is my favorite Ghoul School. I'm just reading some of the chat right now, seeing what people are saying. A lot of people are talking about 4K. Somebody just said, "What's a woman?" Oh my god. That is funny. I don't know why gamers... Well, I guess I do know why, but it's too bad that gamers get that associated with them. Because it's really not true. Oh, there's a giant piranha. I guess it's just not on the other stage. Did you guys see that giant piranha plant? Do I ever watch speedruns? Asked Julia. Not really. I've seen speedruns, but it's not something... I mean, do people really like sit around watching speedruns? Is that like a thing? I've seen them like on occasion. Like sometimes if I'm like playing a game, maybe I'll type in a game if I need to like see a certain part, like, oh, how do I get by this part, and then watch a speedrun. Maybe. I've done that a few times. I definitely don't like sit there and watch them though. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just not something that I really do. But I have seen some speedruns on occasion. You know, I don't know, it's kind of like you're just watching gameplay footage. You know, I feel like, I feel like I need it to have some kind of commentary, usually, for me to really be interested in it. Sometimes it can be, I guess, interesting, to watch a game just being played, I suppose, but it's not really something. I need to have some kind of narration over it, really, for it to hold my interest. So that's probably why I don't really watch speedruns. But, you know, if that's your thing, that's fine. You know, I could understand being interested in that. Mike, did you ever watch that movie based on this game? Based on Mario 3? I'm not sure if you're talking about The Wizard. If you're talking about The Wizard, I saw that in the theater. I don't know what other movie. If you're talking about the Super Mario Brothers movie, that's, I think, just based on Mario Brothers in general, not this specific game. So I'm not really sure what you're asking to the person who asked that. But the only thing I can think that you must be asking is The Wizard. And yes, saw it in the movie theater, thought it was pretty bad. Excuse me. I only really was interested in the parts that showed the gameplay. Because I loved Mario so much, and the rest of the movie, for the most part, I could have done without. Really, I probably would have been happier just sitting home playing Nintendo than going to the theater and seeing that movie. I remember there's one part where Christian Slater is playing a game at the hotel, and I'm pretty sure it's like Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link on the screen, and I'm just like, oh, well, I wish I was playing Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link right now. So it just made me feel how I would have rather been at home. That was my experience of seeing The Wizard, which is the movie I believe you're talking about. So yeah, pretty not the best. California. Yeah, I was not a fan. The ending's alright though when they're actually playing like Mario 3. Because at least that part is more like video game oriented, so I actually kind of cared. It's kind of like if it's not about the video games, I don't really give a shit. Which I could say something right now, but I won't. Mike, what is your favorite burger? Mike, Star Wars trailer. What about it? You want me to talk about the Star Wars trailer? I don't have much to say about it. I mean, I watched it. I saw like messages and stuff on Twitter. People were like, "Oh, they're playing Star Wars trailer during a football game," and I'm not into football. And if you are into football, that's fine. I don't have a problem with people that are into football. It's just that I'm not. It's not my thing. I'm not really into it. So, it's kind of like, I just wish that there was like, I hate when it gets shoved in your face when it's something that you're not really interested in, I guess is the problem. Like if you go out to a bar or something like that, or a restaurant, they'll always have the sports game on, and I always feel like, well, why does it always have to be sports? Can't they put on something else, you know? But it's always sports, so I feel like it's like kind of shoved in your face. And it's fine if it was on sometimes, but why does it always have to be sports? And if you're from another country, you might not understand this, but here, whenever you go out to a restaurant or something, it's always sports on TV. And I feel like, well, they could show some other programs or something. It could be anything. Just put on something else, you know? So that kind of annoys me. So when I go to watch the Star Wars trailer, since I love Star Wars, of course it's like in the middle of a football game, so that was kind of annoying to me. But whatever, that's fine. And I realize that there's people that love sports and love Star Wars, and that's great. Anyway, so about the trailer itself, it was alright. I wasn't overly impressed by it, to be completely honest. Hopefully the movie's great, and I'm sure it will be. Maybe. I mean, I'm also a big Star Trek fan, and I saw the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, and they were very entertaining, very action-packed, but are they good Star Trek? Not really. Good Star Trek is the original series and the Next Generation, really, and maybe like Deep Space Nine and stuff. That was good Star Trek, and the J.J. Abrams movies were kind of just copies of everything that had been done before. So while they were entertaining, they were not really good Star Trek, and I'm worried about the same happening with Star Wars, basically. I know JJ is more of a Star Wars fan than he is a Star Trek fan, so that gives me some hope. But I don't know, I watched the trailer, I was like, it looks alright, but it's like Star Wars, and I want to be like super hyped up for it, and I'm not. So I feel like I'm going to go into the theater, I'm going to enjoy it, I'm going to think it was good, and then I'm probably going to forget about it. Just like going to see like the new X-Men movie or the new Avengers movie or something like that. It's going to be like, I'm going to go, I'm going to enjoy it, and then that'll be that. You know, unfortunately, it's not. I feel like it's not going to be like it was when we were kids back in the '80s, and well, I guess late '70s with with the original. But so that's my feeling, is that it'll be a good, entertaining movie, but it's not gonna break the boundaries that the original movies did. And that's the same way I feel about the Star Trek movies. Entertaining, good, fun movies, but it won't hold a candle to what they did with the originals and next gen and stuff. So yeah, so I'm sure it'll be an exciting movie though. Absolutely. Action packed. And hopefully, hopefully it ends up better than what I'm saying. Hopefully it's like amazing and the characters are really well done and I love it. Hopefully that's the case. I'm just pretty skeptical that it will be that way. Yeah, wait, I want to see who just said that. Mitch Awesomefoot, good name, said, I think Star Wars' big twist is that Luke is the masked bad guy, which would be awful. I would say that's a good bet, is that Luke, there's going to be something with Luke turning bad and he'll be in a mask. Or I feel like in the trailer they were like even showing him like going down into one of the ships or something, and then there was like the Vader mask, and then there's another guy in a black mask, and it's probably Luke or something, because they're not showing Luke in, like, they're not really showing Luke in the trailers, so it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like some of the movie he's gonna be good and then he's gonna turn evil or something, I don't know. Which, whatever, maybe it'll be good, who knows. I know that they did that with some of the comics, so we'll see what they do. I love Mark Hamill, by the way, so I mean, I hope it's good. What I personally think is that Darth Vader is going to be in the movie, and that he is going to turn into a scorpion. I think that's going to be the opening scene in the movie. Vader's just going to... The movie's going to start... Dun, 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 the scrolling screen, and then Darth Vader walks out, and then, boom, he turns into a scorpion, and then the end credits roll. If they just did that, there you go. That's all they got to do. That'd be great. That's how I would make a movie. Just make it a big fucking joke. Because it kind of is a joke at this point anyway. It was a joke back in the 80s. Alright? Like, we would joke, like, oh, like, 25 years from now, they're gonna be making Star Wars movies even then. And, like, it was a joke. Like, nobody really thought that they'd still be making fucking Star Wars movies, like, 20, 30 years from now. Now here we are, 20, 30 years later. Schwarzenegger's still doing Terminator movies. Fucking Leonard Nimoy was in the Star Trek movie. There's still the Stallone Rambos and Rockies and all that, and now they're making fucking... There's a new Pee Wee Herman movie coming out. It's like everything's still here. They're still making all these things with all the original actors. It's like, it's ridiculous. So it's kind of a fucking joke, And I know people are excited because it's Star Wars, but it's like... How many old dead franchises can we keep going with the old actors? Like, what hasn't been done yet? I feel like everything's been done at this point. Let's just keep pumping out those movies. Same actors, 30 years later, 50 years later, and then they stop doing it when they die. That's when they stop doing it. Because you're not going to see another Star Trek movie with Mr. Spock at this point, are you? Nope, that can't happen, but I don't know. Back to the Future 4, there you go, that's a good example. And we all know why that's not happening, but it would. At least with Ghostbusters, they didn't do it. Thank you, Bill Murray. Bill Murray had the right idea the whole way along, I think. He was the one guy who was like, you know what? Fuck that shit. That's why Bill Murray's great, because he didn't buy into that shit. He was like, listen, we did those back in the day, and they were great movies. That's it. We're done. And then it never happened. And now it's not going to happen, So that's good, though, because they did that with every other fucking franchise, and It was never as good as it was originally. So the point of my whole long speech here tonight is that Bill Murray is fucking awesome. Yeah, and then now people are asking me, what do you think of the new the new Ghostbusters with the girls or whatever? It's fine. Whatever. I don't know. I just don't care. Nothing against it. Maybe it'll be funny. Probably won't be, but you know, I'll give it a chance. I'll go see it, you know, with an open mind, and maybe it'll be good. But I really don't care. Alright, so now we're on World 5 here. This is another one of my favorite worlds, because I like how it's divided up. There's like the lower level, and then there's the higher, you know, you go into the sky. It's really cool. Speaking of going into the sky, I really love, there's a Zelda game, I think it's Minish Cap, where you go into the sky like later in the game. There's like a sky temple, I think. I love that game, and there's a game that I would like to do on a live stream, because I would love to play that game again. That was one of my favorite Zelda games, Minish Cap. Awesome game. Loved it. Loved that game. Do you guys like Minish Cap? Have you played it?
Det här är inte skräck. Det här är en värdefull tillgång. Aluminiumkapslar bevarar aromen och ger dig bästa smakupplevelser, samtidigt som de kan återvinnas om och om igen. Lämna in dina använda kapslar precis som de är på närmaste återvinningsstation.
Play Wind Waker, Goonies 2. Goonies 2, I had that when I was a kid too. Yeah, Goonies 2 on NES. Well, first of all, I saw Goonies in the movie theater, the original movie, and I loved it. That was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I watched that movie over and over and over and over and over, and I loved it so much. And then the NES game came out, and that was a shitty game. Even back in the day, I thought that game sucked. I hated it, and I was so angry that one of my favorite movies had such a shitty NES game. But not everything about that game was shitty. In fact, it has maybe my favorite music on the NES, which was the opening title music. Love that, and I get very nostalgic whenever I hear that. I get a very nostalgic feeling. So it's got good things about it, but overall, that game fucking sucked. Oh shit. Well. When will this stream end? I'm not sure how far I will go in the game tonight. I'll probably keep going for a little while longer, at least. I'm not sure if I'll beat it, but we'll see what happens. I'm on like level 5 right now. What time is it? It's 3:45, so it's a little late, so I probably won't go through the entire game. I'll probably play for another like half hour or something like that. I just really needed to get some Mario in my life, because I don't have enough Mario 3 in my life. Everybody needs Mario 3 in their lives. That's what I say. All right. I love how this game looks like a stage play. Yes. Gunmaster says, do you feel nostalgic about Donkey Kong Country for Super Nintendo? Yes, absolutely. And yes, you're right, it does have amazing music. I love that game. Dr. Hotel Mario. Hey Mike, are you friends with Doug? Doug Walker, I suppose you mean. I don't know him extremely well, but I've hung out with him a couple times, and yeah, I am friends with him, sort of. I don't know him that well. You know, he's out in They're out in Chicago, I think. So, but when he comes out, it's cool to see Doug. He's a good guy. Switch to TMNT. I'm not gonna switch to TMNT tonight, but I definitely will do TMNT streams at some point, because I do love that game. So I will definitely be playing that eventually. Minish Cap is underrated, dude. Yes, I agree with that. Love that game. Have you seen It Follows? It asks Kobe005. I don't know if you've been watching Monster Madness, but keep watching is all I will say about that. Usually I don't give anything away, but... Ooh, Tanuki suit. But you know what? It's a late night live stream and you guys deserve it. Mike is the new Bob Ross. Well, as far as Mario Paint is concerned, maybe. I'll take the compliment. For Mario Paint only. James Osborne, how do you feel about John and Aaron poking fun of you on Game Grumps? That's funny. You know, they're making jokes, guys. We rip on people sometimes too, and you know what they were talking about is how I make corny jokes sometimes, and I actually talked about this already tonight. Sometimes I make corny jokes on purpose, and that's part of my sense of humor. I'll just say some corny joke because it's so funny, it's so unfunny that I think it's funny, you know? So sometimes that's my sense of humor, and a lot of times people don't get that, so it's fine. I'm actually pretty good friends with John Jafari, who said that, so we've talked about that, how people kind of had the wrong impression, I think, that he made those comments in that video. Yeah, I think that people kind of have the wrong impression of what they think about me because of some comments that they made off the cuff. So I'm actually friends with them. At least John. I don't really know Aaron. But James has done some videos and stuff, and knows Aaron and stuff. They're all good guys. So there's no issues there at all. In fact, I mean, John has been in a bunch of our videos and stuff. So I just saw him not too long ago. So John's a lot of fun to hang out with. He's a very high energy guy, and he's very funny. So yeah. I actually drew a picture of John in Mario Paint, which he retweeted, which was very funny. I drew like a satanic kind of picture of him, unintentionally satanic, and he thought that was funny. John the Baptist? No, not John the Baptist. John Tron. Oh my god. I don't know what I'm gonna... Oh, you guys. Something... What am I gonna do with you guys? I don't even know what to do with this chat room. John the Baptist. Favorite YouTuber? I don't there's a lot of things on YouTube that I like. Off the top of my head, the first person that popped into my head actually was Robert Dyer. I don't know if you guys know him, but he does fast food reviews. I think that guy is pretty fucking ridiculous. I don't know. There's a lot of people that I like on YouTube. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos, but occasionally I do. And there's some people that I enjoy. Oh my god, I just fucked that up hardcore. Carnation Bob. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, isn't he ridiculous? We actually started following each other on Twitter. I followed Robert Dyer, and then he followed me back. I thought that was pretty awesome. Like literally, he does videos of fast food. It's very funny. I feel like that's a person who people could quickly get the wrong impression of what's going on there. And not understand it. So he's probably somebody that gets shit on for the wrong reasons. Where are these live streams announced? Asks Harry M. If you would have to get the YouTube Gaming app and then follow us on YouTube Gaming, and then when we come online, you would get a notification. So that's how you can follow. All right, so here we are up in the clouds. This is one of those levels where you can just kind of fly through the whole thing. Whoa, shit. Until you fuck it up like that. That sucks that I just did that. Usually I take the high route on this. Let's see if I can do